a tool whose job is installing Python. Written in Python. Do you see the problem? This is the whole installation. One line, pasted into a terminal, on a machine that has no Python on it whatsoever. 15 seconds later, UV is there and working. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand every part of what that line just did. Welcome back. This chapter gets UV onto your machine, and more importantly, it explains why installing UV works so differently from installing anything else in the Python world. Start with the problem, because the problem is what makes the solution make sense. Here's something about pip almost nobody says out loud. Pip is a Python package. Pip lives inside a Python installation in a folder called Site Packages, right alongside every other package you've ever installed. Ask pip where pip is, and pip will tell you. Which means pip can never fix a broken Python because pip needs that Python in order to start. Break the interpreter, and pip goes down with the interpreter. Now, none of that is a bug, and none of it is pip's fault. Living inside Python is simply what pip is. So UV is built the other way around. UV is one compiled program, written in Rust, sitting beside Python rather than inside Python. UV needs no interpreter to start, which is exactly why a single line of curl works on a bare machine, and why in a few chapters UV can download an entire Python for you on demand. There are several roads onto your machine, and they all end at the same binary. Mac and Linux use curl. Windows uses PowerShell. Homebrew works, and so does Wingit. And then there's the fourth road, which is the one to avoid. Why is that fourth road a trap? Because pip puts UV inside a Python environment, and managing Python environments from the outside is UV's whole job. Delete the environment, and UV disappears along with the environment. Worse, UV can no longer update itself, because a package cannot overwrite its own file while Python is holding that file open. Now let's read that install line properly, because you should never paste something into a terminal you cannot read. Curl fetches a file over the internet. -L follows redirects. -S stays quiet. -S still shows real errors. -F fails properly on a bad response instead of saving the error page. Then the pipe hands that file to sh, which runs it. That's it. Download a script. Run the script. On Windows, the shape is identical. PowerShell fetches the script with IRM and IX runs it. Same binary, same destination, different shell. And now the step that trips up literally everybody the first time. When you type a command, your shell doesn't search your whole computer. Your shell walks a short list of folders in order and runs the first match found. The list is called path. The installer put UV in a folder near the end of the list, then added that folder to your shell profile. But your open terminal read the profile once, back when the terminal started, and no shell rereads a profile on its own. So the first thing almost everybody sees after installing UV is command not found, and almost everybody assumes the install failed. The install did not fail. Close the terminal, open a fresh one, and UV is right there. The version line is worth reading properly because 3 separate facts live in it. First, the version number. Then the exact commit the binary was built from. Then the build date. When you report a bug or follow along with a tutorial, the commit hash is what tells another person precisely which UV you are running, down to the day. UV keeps its own things in 3 folders, and it will tell you where all 3 are. The cache is where downloads are kept, so the second install is instant. The tool folder holds programs you install. The Python folder holds interpreters UV downloaded for you. These live in different places on Windows and on Unix, and UV knows which. Quick check. Of those 4 roads, why is pip install UV the one to avoid? Pause here and have a proper think about it. Ready? Because pip puts UV inside a Python environment, and managing those from outside is UV's whole job. And because UV is only ever files and folders, removing UV takes 3 commands and no control panel at all. Clear the cache, delete the tool and Python folders, delete the binary. Nothing else on your machine ever knew UV was there. One last thing the installer deliberately does not do. UV does not touch your system Python, does not modify any environment you already have, and does not put a bare Python command on your path. Everything UV installs lives in UV's own folders, which is why removing UV leaves absolutely nothing behind. So, to recap, pip lives inside Python, so pip can never rescue a Python that's broken. UV is one compiled binary that sits beside Python, which is why a single line installs it on a bare machine. And when the terminal says command not found, open a new terminal. Next chapter, you run a tool you have not installed, and I show you the stopwatch that explains why UV feels the way it does.